Martin. He knows exactly where he has to go to pick up the first down, working against Jenkins. And he angles back to the sidelines and away from Jenkins. And Forcade strong arms it into him.
Well, one thing in watching this first half, it's obvious to all of us now why Jim Mora made a change. John Forcade can play this game.
1st and 10 at the 25. Again, the Saints have all of their timeouts left. Forcade gets a block as he takes off, looking for the first down, and has it. He's out of bounds at the 37. And the crowd, they love him anyway. He's a hometown kid. And especially so after a play like that.
Mora was looking for a spark for his offense, and he found one in John Forcade. Big game against Buffalo in the snow last week. A couple of touchdown passes. First 300-yard game since they had midseason in 1987. And he's coming right back with another big game.
Well, he's going to get a block downfield that's really going to allow him to pick up the first down. I think John Tice, the tight end, comes back and really makes the block that allows Forcade to get that first down yardage.
At the 37-yard line. Forcade almost lost the football, and then the next thing you know, slides out to the 43 and turns what could have been a loss or a fumble into a 6-yard gain.
I think he ran out of petrol at that point.
Yeah.
A couple of scrambles, you can see that mouth is open.
It's one of those deals where it looks like he's trying to throw the ball, but it's super glued to his hand.
And he's working on that clock now. He's going to have to catch his breath and get this play off. Picks it up from the sidelines.
It's 2nd down and a short 4.
But when you've got the lead, you don't have to hurry. I mean, the most important thing here is that Forcade is settled in enough that he doesn't make an error.
2nd and 4 at the 43. Forcade throwing his Perriman, making the catch in Philadelphia territory, and Perriman takes it to the 30 for a first down as we go down to the 2-minute warning. Andre Waters makes the tackle.
And Forcade looks rattled.
He shakes out the cobwebs here. He'll get a free timeout at the 2-minute break. Perriman with a catch. They have all of their timeouts remaining and a 4-point lead at the 2-minute warning. And back we come to the Superdome with 2 minutes to play in the half. Saints have all of their timeouts. Forcade went over to the sidelines at the 2-minute warning and the administered smelling salts.
I'll tell you, he had 2 wild scrambles, and when he got back to the huddle, he couldn't take a breath. He had to call the play, had to come to the line of scrimmage, and he fired that completion to Perriman, and he was exhausted.
And you saw our halftime menu coming up. Bo Schembechler will visit with him. New Orleans has it at the 31. They lead by 4. And here's Hilliard swinging to the outside, but not going anywhere. Andre Waters is the first to form the greeting party. Of course, the Saints are already well within field goal range when you've got Morton Anderson on your bench.
Saints have also, with the starting of John Forcade, been working a young receiver out of Miami, Brett Perriman, who had a big game against Buffalo last week, his career high for receptions and yardage, and he seems to team very well with John Forcade. He is the speed represented by the New Orleans receivers.
2nd down and 12 after a 2-yard loss from the 33-yard line. Heavy pressure, and Forcade gets spun down and is very fortunate he held on to the football. Seth Joyner coming in on the blitz.
Yeah, you don't need smelling salts. The Eagles are more than willing to administer a little medicine of their own.
And they just took him out of Morton Anderson's field goal range as well.
They almost took John Forcade out of his underwear.
There's Anderson, who right now would be looking at a 57-yard attempt. At the 40-yard line, it's 3rd down and 19.
His career best, Morton Anderson, 55 yards, so he would have to set a personal high, at least if they went from this point.
3rd and 19, clock ticking down to 52 seconds.
Here comes the blitz again.
Rush again. They send 6. Forcade steps up, going deep into the end zone. Contact is made, and they say it's incidental. Mike Jones and Eric Everett got tangled up, no flag.
That's a good call. That ball was out of the end zone, uncatchable.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that, Frank. That ball, I think, would have been catchable if they stay on their feet. But I agree. I do agree with the call. It really did look like their feet just got tangled. The ball's going to land in the end zone. Mike Jones, here comes Everett, both playing the football. That's a good non-call by the officiating crew.
So New Orleans has to punt instead of opting for what would be a 57-yard attempt. 40 seconds on the clock. Barnhart lofts it, and a fair catch is called for. And again, I mean, why are you going to make a fair catch at the 4-yard line? Anthony Edwards, it's the second time tonight inside the 10. He's called for a fair catch.
Yeah, that's. I can only assume that he's disoriented on the field. Again, take a look at it. Both of them back. Actually, it's Jones that comes in and initiates the contact. But you can see the ball landing in the back of the end zone. But still, both guys trying to make a play on the football. If there would have been any flag thrown there at all, it would have been offensive interference against Jones. But I think it's a good non-call.
And no complaints about it either. I don't think it was catchable, frankly. And that factored into it also.
So it's 14-10, and that's the way it figures to wind up, unless the Saints want to take their timeouts defensively. And New Orleans has an interesting option here. They can stop them on first down. They have all 3 timeouts left. And meanwhile, Cunningham is in the end zone and in the grasp. A safety. Frank Warren gets credit for the safety. And so Philadelphia calls for a fair catch inside the 5, and then Cunningham gets tackled in the end zone for a safety.
Well, Randall Cunningham, he just gets passed by his offensive line. They are just blown off the ball. Frank Warren just takes number 65, Ron Solt, and just throws him all the way back beyond Randall Cunningham. Randall didn't have a chance.
And he did the wise thing. He pulled this thing down. He took the 2 points. He could have thrown that up and perhaps cost 6.
Give Frank Warren credit. But the Eagles sure made it easy for New Orleans there.
And the Saints have 3 timeouts remaining, and Philadelphia will have to put the ball in play from their own 20-yard line. So it could be that New Orleans, with the 3 timeouts, could get some more.
Mm. 16-10. And again, it's set up by Edwards calling for the fair catch. The deal is, I mean, why would you call for a fair catch, as we pointed out, inside the 10? You might as well let it bounce, hope it goes into the end zone.
It's also a risky call, going with a straight drop-back pass. You would expect maybe some movement out of the pocket, something where Randall Cunningham would have more vision, something that he would maybe stretch the defense.
Here's the free kick, and they're going to use Cunningham, and this time not nearly the type that netted him 91 against New York. A free kick. It is caught by Rod Harris, and he takes it to the Philadelphia 48, and they have all of their timeouts. Not that they'll have time to use them because there's only 21 ticks of the clock left.
Well, still, though, you're looking at, what are you looking at? Only you need about a 20-yard play, and you're inside a 50-yard field goal. So New Orleans here in an excellent position to add some more points.
They're looking to get between the 30 and the 35-yard line with the big foot of Morton Anderson on the sidelines.
At the 48-yard line, 21 seconds remaining in the half. 16-10 Saints.
Again, I think what we're seeing, though, it's a lot easier to play this game sometimes when you don't have to win. The Eagles, I think, the team feeling the pressure, trying to catch the Giants.
Fourcade from the gun. 4 receivers in the pattern, a 4-man Philadelphia rush. The catch is made by Martin, and Martin takes it to the 36. They'll have to call a timeout, and they better do it in a hurry, and they do, at the 14-second mark. So you're at the 36-yard line, which is roughly a 53-yard field goal from this point.
So really what you're looking for here is something in the vicinity. I mean, 10 yards would be wonderful. Even 4 or 5 isn't bad. You know, a running play is an option here. You've got the luxury of still having 2 timeouts.
An important one. We saw a moment ago that Fourcade got sacked and took them out of field goal range. So that is going to be one of his high priorities, not to get the sack. because they are within Morton Anderson's range.